off to Mars, says Trump as he signs a law for NASA to have manned missions to the Red Planet by the 2030s. President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed a law that said manned missions to deep space, including to Mars, would be the U.S. space agency's main goal in the decades to come. According to the text, adopted by a rare unanimous vote in the Senate and House of Representatives, NASA will work toward the goal of a crewed mission to Mars in the 2030s. The law also highlights the importance of the deep space capsule Orion, which is under development and aims to carry humans further into space than any spaceship ever has. Orion will be launched atop the Space Launch System, SLS, which the space agency has described as the most powerful rocket ever built. NASA shall continue the development of the fully integrated Space Launch System, including an upper stage needed to go beyond low Earth orbit in order to safely enable human space exploration of the Moon, Mars, and beyond over the course of the next century, said the text. This law reaffirms our national commitment to the core mission of NASA, Trump said, signing the text in the presence of numerous elected officials including former Republican rivals, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas and Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. He saluted the heroic role of U.S. astronauts over the last several decades and called for continued partnerships between NASA and the private sector in the realm of space exploration. Former President Barack Obama also hailed these industry-government partnerships and said in October, just months before leaving office, that the United States had set a clear goal vital to the next chapter of America's story in space: sending humans to Mars by the 2030s and returning them safely to Earth. Experts say that sending people to live on the Red Planet, which lies on average some 140 million miles (225 million kilometers) away from Earth, will take immense amounts of technological advances in cash. NASA's original plan for the manned mission is built around a profile called a multi-translator injection, MTLI, or multiple departure burns, and includes a free return trajectory from the Moon. Basically, the spacecraft will circle our planet twice, while periodically firing its engines to build up enough speed to push it toward the Moon before looping back to Earth. After launch, the spacecraft and upper stage of the rocket will first orbit Earth twice to ensure its systems are working normally. Orion will reach a circular orbit at an altitude of 100 nautical miles and last 90 minutes. The move or burn to get the spacecraft into a specific orbit around a planet or other body in space is called orbital insertion. Following the first orbit, the rocket's powerful exploration upper stage, USE, and 4RL-10 engines will perform an orbital race, which will place Orion into a highly elliptical orbit around our planet. This is called the partial translator injection. This second, larger orbit will take approximately 24 hours with Orion flying in an ellipse between 500 and 19,000 nautical miles above Earth. For perspective, the International Space Station orbits Earth from about 250 miles above. Once the integrated vehicle completes these two orbits, the USE will separate from Orion, and any payload selected and mounted inside the rocket's universal stage adapter will be released. The payloads will then fly on their own to conduct their unique missions. After the USE separation, the crew will do a unique test of Orion's critical systems. They will gather and evaluate engineering data from their day-long orbit before using Orion Service Module to complete a second and final propulsion move called the translator injection, TLI, burn. This second burn will put Orion on a path toward the Moon and will conclude the multi-translator injection portion of the mission.